Part 4, The Queen, the King, and a Bloodline that changed everything. She came from the south with gold, questions, and power. He ruled from the north with wisdom, wealth, and a kingdom of prophecy. What happened next? Ethiopia remembers even if the rest of the world pretends to forget. Yep, we're talking about the legendary encounter between the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon. This moment is more than just ancient gossip. It's the foundation of Ethiopia's royal bloodline, the link to biblical Israel, and a key part of why the Ethiopian Bible holds such deep spiritual weight. Let's unpack it. Forget the European image of Africa as a continent that needed civilization. Long before the Roman Empire was a thing, there was Sheba, a thriving kingdom in the region of modern-day Ethiopia and Yemen. Sheba was rich in gold, frankincense, and myrrh, skilled in trade, diplomacy, and architecture, home to one of the earliest matriarchal societies. Enter the queen, known in Ethiopian tradition as Makeda. She wasn't just any monarch, she was highly educated, a master in riddles and philosophy, a ruler with great wealth and global curiosity. And word on the street? There was this king in Israel, Solomon, who was wise beyond human understanding. So what did Makeda do? She gathered her entourage, loaded her camels with gifts, and journeyed thousands of miles across deserts to meet him. When Makeda arrived in Jerusalem, the encounter between her and Solomon wasn't just about diplomacy. It was, honestly, intellectual warfare meets spiritual chemistry. According to both the Bible and the Kebra, which is a sacred Ethiopian text, they tested each other's wisdom through riddles and discussions. Solomon was impressed by her intelligence and grace, and she was moved by his divine insight and leadership. After days of royal banquets and deep convos, something happened. The nature of their relationship turned personal. The Kebra, which is translated as the glory of kings, gives the full details, and spoiler alert, it wasn't just a handshake and a thank you note. A son was born and he changed everything. After returning to Sheba, Queen Makeda gave birth to a son. His name? Menelik I. And here's where it gets incredible. When Menelik came of age, he traveled to Jerusalem to meet his father Solomon. According to the Kebra, Solomon was overwhelmed with joy. He offered Menelik the throne of Israel, but Menelik refused, wanting instead to rule Ethiopia. Solomon respected his son's decision, but sent him home with a royal gift that would make Menelik the spiritual bridge between Israel and Africa, the Ark of the Covenant in Ethiopia. According to Ethiopian tradition, Menelik didn't just go home with royal robes, he went home with the Ark of the Covenant. Yes, that ark, the sacred relic that carried the 10 Commandments, God's divine presence, Israel's most powerful religious symbol. It's said to have been secretly taken from the temple and transported to Ethiopia by Menelik and a group of Levites with God's blessing. And where is it today? Aksum, Ethiopia, in a guarded chapel at St. Mary of Zion Church, where no one except one guardian monk is allowed to see it. Why does this story matter to Ethiopia and the Bible? This legendary royal union created a spiritual bloodline that linked Ethiopia directly to King David and Solomon. It cemented Ethiopia as a divine nation with chosen status. It also influenced Ethiopian rulers, including Emperor Haile Selassie, who traced his lineage back to Solomon. But even more than that, this story helped shape how Ethiopia saw itself not as a colony of anyone, not as a follower of European Christianity, but as a spiritually ancient, chosen people directly tied to the biblical narrative. And that belief is exactly why Ethiopia preserved the Bible in its oldest form. You ever wonder why this story barely gets mentioned in Western sermons or textbooks? Here's why. It centers a powerful black queen in sacred history. It suggests Africa is not an outsider in Christianity, but a co-creator. It claims the most sacred relic in Judaism is housed in Africa, not Jerusalem. That's too explosive for many Western religious institutions to promote. So, like so many other powerful African truths, it was ignored. But Ethiopia? Ethiopia remembered and documented it in detail. There are proofs that can't be dismissed. Some people say it's just legend. But think about this. The Kebra was written over 700 years ago, based on even older oral traditions. Ancient Jewish communities were confirmed to have existed in Ethiopia as early as the 1st millennium BCE. Ethiopian emperors claimed lineage from Solomon and ruled accordingly. Pilgrims and historians for centuries have documented the guarded ark in Aksum, and the Ethiopian church still treats this narrative as sacred fact. Why it all ties back to the Bible. This divine connection, Queen Makeda, King Solomon, Menelik, because the ark is at the heart of the Ethiopian Bible. It's why Ethiopia kept books that were cut out of the King James Version. It's why their canon includes 81 books, while most Western Bibles only have 66. And it's why many of the banned or lost stories of the Bible survived in Ethiopia when they were erased elsewhere. In Part 5, we're diving into the Council of Nicaea, the moment when the Bible was edited, filtered, and shaped for political power. We'll explore why so many books were cut out, how the Roman Empire rewrote Christianity, and why the Ethiopian Bible refused to follow that script. This is where things get heated. Don't go away.